Welcome to another video from SH Millinery, and this one is all about blocking a one-piece felt hat, and I'm using fruit bowls. Just so as to show you can use a lot of household items. Now I've got two bowls here, this wooden bowl which I found in a supermarket, and this bowl which I found in a charity shop. Very nice. I think it's probably Indian, but it's got a nice brim edge and a lip for tying the string round, so it couldn't be better. Now I normally carry a tape measure around with me, and I measured this bowl in the shop, and it's about 22.5 inches, which is the perfect size for a hat. So first of all, I've got to fix the two blocks together. So for this I'm using double-sided tape, and you need quite a bit of it for it to stick really well. So I'm speeding through this bit, but as you can see, lots of it. And then I should be able to stick it on the other bowl. Now make sure you've got it central so that it's all even, and push really hard and make it sure it's stuck down. Lift it up to check it's not going to fall off. It's got to be stuck really, really well. Now to make this hat, I'm using a felt hood, not a cape line, it is a hood. And I'm going to soak it in hot water. Now you can steam felt, but I've got to make this hood stretch across quite a big block with these two fruit bowls. So I'm going to soak it in hot water and then wring it out really, really well. Now this hood is not a great one, it's one I've had for a while, and the colour is not brilliant on it, and it's not an A1 hood, so this hat I'm going to keep for myself. So wring out as much of the water as you can, really squeeze and wring. Let's move the water out of the way. By soaking it, it makes it more pliable, and I can really stretch it over the block. So I'm going to cover the block with cling film or saran wrap to make sure it doesn't stick. And I'm using another small block as my stand. You could use a tin or a bowl or anything really that you can find. So now I'm going to really stretch the felt over my bowls, pulling and stretching all the time. You've really got to stretch it a lot. You've got to put a lot of welly into it because it's got to go all the way over the brim as well. So pull and stretch as much as you can right over. Also, the good thing about soaking it is it does mean the wool will shrink slightly when it dries, which is good because it will shrink tight onto the block. So I've pulled it as much as I possibly can by hand, and now I'm going to attach it. So we're going to use string for this. Take a long length of string and tie a slip knot in one end. Put the other end of the string through the loop, and then put that around the crown, and then pull. You have to pull really, really tightly. Now you'll see here I've actually swapped the string for some stronger string because the first one broke, because you do have to pull. So pull and stretch and pull the felt down all the time while you're pulling the string as tight as you possibly can, and then pin in place. Quite hard to pin into this bowl, I think it's teak or something. Then we've got to pull the brim down again. Oop, my pin's popped out. Again, stretch it round again and push the pin in a bit harder this time. I think that's in fairly securely now. So pulling and stretching down through the crown, over the brim, so that it goes right over the edge and there are no creases or pleats or folds. Keep pulling and stretching all the time and smoothing it out. And again, we'll need a long piece of string. Sometimes I use blocking springs, which I make myself, but I'll show you how to do that in another video. But with this one, again, I'm using string with a slip knot and pulling it tight. I'm lucky with this bowl because it does have a groove that I can run the string through. But if you haven't, you can pin. Pulling tight, making sure the string is all in the right place. And again, we're going to pin it in position. So just check it all round, pull out any ridges or little bits that haven't pulled very well. You can see it's now ready to put to one side. And again, this will need to dry at least overnight, if not a bit longer, because I've soaked it. Now it's all dry, I shall remove the springs or string or pins if you've pinned and take it off the blocks. I didn't stiffen this hat because I felt it had enough stiffener in it anyway, and I want it to be quite a soft hat. Now I'm going to have to trim it, so I'm going to cut all the way around the edge where the string groove was. So trim all the way around, trying to keep a nice straight edge. Now the edges of brims can be folded under or up, depending on which your preference is, but for this I'm going to fold it under. And I'm going to use millinery wire. So this is cotton covered wire, quite a thin wire, doesn't need to be very thick. But this will be used for the brim to keep the brim in shape. So I've got to work out roughly how much wire I need to go around the hat. I'm going to hold it in a couple of places just with some wonder clips, as it is very springy and wants to bounce all over the bench. So when I've worked out roughly how much I need, and you'll need an overlap, I'm going to cut it with some wire cutters. So now I'm going to pin it with, well, clip it actually with the wonder clips properly. So if you don't have wonder clips, obviously you'll have to pin or use some other clips to keep it in place. Now, because this is a circular hat, not an oval shaped crown, there isn't really a back and a front. So you check where you think you would like the back to be and the front, because this is symmetrical all the way around this hat. But you may have a preference, one side may look a little bit better than another. So holding the wire in place, I clip all the way around. I don't bother joining the wire, there's no necessity. The felt is so thick that the wire won't poke through, and it won't come out, so I don't see the need for it. But if you want to, you can use a brass ferrule to join the two ends together, or even a little bit of sellotape. But I'm not going to bother, I'm just going to wrap them over each other and pin. Now I'm going to stitch. I'm using extra strong thread and a needle, and I'm going to start using very, very, very tiny stitches, almost back in the same hole that you went out of, through to the other side, and again a very small stitch. Now you could do this on a sewing machine. I often do it on a sewing machine, but I thought, as I've already shown you ones where I've sewn by machine, I thought I'd do this one by hand. So all the way around, pulling very tight as you go, which is why you need extra strong thread so it won't snap. Sew the wire into the brim, and there we have it, it's sewn. Now it's a bit of a rough edge, so I'm going to use my little vintage wire gadget thing to roughen the felt and smooth it over the stitches. Now I love this little gadget, and it's from the 1930s. I don't know what it was originally meant for, but it's so useful for hats. Obviously you're not going to have this gadget, so a stiff brush, or perhaps one of those little brass wired brushes that you use for suede shoes. You brush all around the felt. You'll have a lot of wool felt in your brush by the time you're finished, but it just smooths it all over and helps hide any stitches. So when you're finished, all over the hat, it'll look like this. Oh, and the wire brush comes in handy for the tops and the sides and everything, wherever needs a brush. You'll see here that the felt isn't a great one, and it's not a uniform colour all the way through, which is why I'm just making this hat for myself, and I won't be selling it in my shop. Right, I need to do a Petersham sweatband inside, so I've measured some Petersham to go around the inside, and I'm now going to swirl it. Always make sure you cut more than you actually need, a couple of inches more than you need, because by the time you've swirled it, it will actually be shorter. So don't cut an exact length. Not very easy to swirl on this bit of mat, so I must admit, although I'm showing you this, I did take it off to the ironing board and finish it off properly. So once it's swirled into a nice curve, I'm going to sew this to the inside of the hat. And again, if I was doing this for a customer or a couture hat, I would hand sew, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use the sewing machine. So I'm going to think about where I want to start, and I'm leaving a long edge, and then over to the machine, and I'm using a fairly large stitch to sew very close to the edge of the Petersham and into the curve of the crown. Once it's all sewn in, it looks a bit wobbly, so I'm going to steam it and put it back on the block to press and steam the Petersham back into shape. So there it is on the block, and that'll push it all nicely into shape, make it neat and tidy inside. Then I've got a wider piece of Petersham for the outside, which I have already swirled. So I'm going to sew that round on the crown. That'll be stitched by hand. Again, work out where your back and front of the hat are and where you want your decoration. So I'm now going to stitch that on. Then I've made a bow from a length of Petersham. I'm keeping this fairly simple. So I've done a double folded bow, which again I'm stitching with a little piece over the top to cover it. That'll all be stitched together and then stitched to the hat. And there we have it. The hat is finished. It fits me beautifully, and I'm sure you'll see me wearing it. If you like my videos, please subscribe.